Hello and welcome to Wheel Watches. We're on our Oscar hype train at the moment. Last week was Anatomy of a Fall. Today we are watching American Fiction. Next week will be Zone of Interest, which you can get right now on Patreon. And I'm going to do Poor Things and Iron Claw soon. I think with that, I'm pretty much caught up with all of the Oscar nominations. Oh, Maestro as well. But we're getting there. I'm just kind of doing them as they become available on streaming and on video on demand. So when it comes to this one, American Fiction, all I know about this is that it's Jeffrey Wright. Absolutely love Jeffrey Wright. He was great in The Batman. His monologue in Asteroid City was phenomenal. And I know this is a story about an author. He kind of plays an author, but that's all I know. Is it? I don't know if this is right or not. It's kind of like he's an author, but some of the stuff he writes about starts to become real in a way. I don't know if I'm getting that wrong. It might be the case, it might not be. I guess we'll see. So before we jump into this, be sure to check out the Patreon page. As I said, you'll get 1 week early access, so you can get the Zone of Interest reaction right now. You can find polls, so you can vote for what's next. And you can find a full-length timer-based version of this, where you just sync up your own footage and you can watch along with me. So yeah, let's just jump right in.
I just think that word on the board is wrong.
Well, I think it still has 2 G's in it, last I checked.
Okay.
It's not funny.
I mean, you're lecturing a black person on this.
With all due respect, Brittany, I got over it. I'm pretty sure you did.
Yeah. A bit of self-awareness, Brittany, come on.
I have written 3 novels since the last time you published.
This is true, and the speed with which you write only proves that good things take time.
Ooh.
My agent says they're very excited about it.
Oh, that's great to hear. What's it about?
Can we stop stalling, Leo?
Is he getting fired because of this?
Listen, Monk. We'd like to give you a break.
Just calling it a break, okay.
You need some time to relax. You're on edge, man.
You're under the impression that time spent with my family will take the edge off.
Okay, so he's a bit on edge as well. It's not just how he always is.
Has to do with the African American experience.
There it is. There it is.
They want a black book.
They have a black book. I'm black, and it's my book.
Oh, they don't want. They don't think it's black enough. Okay.
Single mom in Dorchester raising 5 kids.
Dorchester's pretty white now. But yes.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, what's the phrase? Oh, I'm completely forgetting the phrase people use. They want it to be black trauma, don't they? Is that what they call it? Yeah.
The London Review of Books said, Louise Lives in the Ghetto is a heartbreaking and visceral debut.
Louise lives in the ghetto.
Most every submission was from some white dude from New York going through a divorce, and too few of them were about my people. Yo, Sharonda! Where you be going?
Yeah, it's like a hyper exaggerated version. Also, her talking about her life experience there. Does her life experience actually align with this, what she's writing? Didn't sound like it.
Hell nah. Girl, you be pregnant again? Mights be, I tells her.
Yeah, he just hates this almost like super stereotypical, isn't it? It's exactly what the world wants him to be, not his true experience. Just the look on his face.
Hello, Monk.
Hey, Lisa.
Yeah, it seems that family troubles. He didn't really want to come home either, did he? There was some tension there, it looked like.
Not your business who I fuck. Who I fillate.
I definitely did not say fillet.
I thought you did. That's all right.
Okay, no, they do have a bit of banter, yeah.
Good to see you.
Yeah, it's good to see you, too.
Might be the rest of the family, that's the problem, though.
Something I've written never changed your life.
Absolutely. My dining room table was wobbly as hell.
There we go. I thought she couldn't think of it like an example, couldn't name his book or something.
The Monk?
I look fat.
Oh, that's the California talking.
Hi, mother.
You look fat.
Of course.
I mean, is it really such a big deal? Everyone forgets things. Doesn't mean she's safe necessarily.
People forget dentist appointments.
Yeah, I think she might have dementia or something. Or was she just doing it purposefully as a little jab? I don't know. I mean, immediately, the first thing she said is you're getting fat. But also, that could be like a kind of motherly thing, concerned about him, even though the way she says it isn't the kindest.
You a man? You don't need nothing. No one to get you through. This bitch will take your soul. Y'all niggas ain't got no fat.
Yeah, it seems like he just wants media that represents his experience, you know? That's what it seems like.
And he and I are black.
Oh, bingo.
No bingo, Ned. These books have nothing to do with African Americans.
I mean, don't blame Ned for it. It's head office. It's high ups. He's just there doing his job.
I don't decide what sections the books go in, and no one here does. That's how chain stores work.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just gonna put them back after you leave.
You dare. Ned.
Oh, this book's just gonna like haunt him, isn't it? The Sinatra Golden one.
You share your condescending opinion as a question, trying to disguise the condescension. Why don't you just say that you think the gardening is idiotic?
Because that's not what I was doing.
Bullshit.
Yeah, she read right through him.
But that money is going to go to pay back the reverse mortgage that our mother took out on the other house.
Yeah, he's so out of the loop, isn't he? Doesn't know about loads of stuff.
Oh, God!
Come on.
Oh!
Lisa,
She,
you okay?
heart attack? She's like grabbing her chest. Just like that. Okay. I mean, if we do lose her, he's gonna have to step up, isn't he? Because she was doing so much. That was just out of nowhere, yeah. It does just... Death just come out of nowhere like that. Oh, lovely. It's just the backgrounds.
Obviously, this is not ideal. But I guess it had to happen at some point.
She's still got a personality, yeah.
Hopefully, I expired under the heaving thrusts of a sweaty itchy
Yeah, still got a humour.
I lived a life that made me proud.
I'm
Loved
worried about Mum now,
in return.
because if she does actually have dementia, is she gonna forget that she's passed, you know? Ask where she is all the time.
Cliff?
Oh, this is the beach house they're at. Of course, yeah. They mentioned the beach house. Who's this coming along? I wasn't sure. Yeah, so this is Cliff here, but her ex-husband Larry, will he be in the picture? That might be that guy who was coming along.
Are those human remains?
Oh, of course. Is
Cliff, you don't talk to me like that.
Fuck you. I just did. I will eat your sweater vest for dinner. No. Bitch, go. One. Get out of here, Philip.
even Monk's getting ill in it as well. Yeah, trying to carry it out at a funeral like that.
Does seeing a dead body ever become normal?
I don't know. I haven't seen many. I'm a plastic surgeon if I'm looking at a corpse and something went very awry.
I mean, that's why she'll have all the rumors about her Botox if her brother's a plastic surgeon.
My wife left me because she caught me in bed with a man. She
Oh,
took my
wow.
house, half my practice. My kids fucking hate me.
Okay, that explains it. Yeah, we did hear a bit of that.
Knocks them right out.
You gave her opioids to sleep?
Yeah. You ever seen a heroin addict? Those guys take naps standing up.
It's dangerous.
Look, I'm keeping an eye on her. I'm a doctor.
Yeah, don't want to get her addicted to them, though. Oh, leaks. Oh, Mum in the bath. He didn't already give her the drugs before the bath, did he? Oh, no. Okay, she's just phasing out. It's oddly formal as well. They always call her mother, not mum or anything. I don't know, to me that it feels like there's a bit of separation there, bit of distance.
It's going to depend on what the doctors say. Yeah, I'll touch base when I know more. Thanks so much for being understanding.
Yeah, we already knew there was something going on with the mother. It's just, it's getting worse, isn't it?
You don't have to do that.
Oh, no, I do. It's tomato season. You can't let them go to waste.
Ooh.
Little meat cute.
We just got here last night.
I figured the place was haunted. They said some old man blew his brains out there a while back.
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, she has realized. Look on her face. He didn't want to reveal that it was like a second home, that they were as rich as they are, maybe. Yeah, they did imply something with the dad, with the way Mum found him. I just wasn't sure.
I actually read one of your books.
Oh.
Which?
The Frogs.
Oh, so you were the one.
Did she already know who he was? Or after he introduced himself?
Fine, but you think you can chip in for care once we find out what's what? It's probably going to be pretty expensive.
Things are tight right now.
Yeah, he can't even afford it.
What about firing Lorraine?
Lorraine is family.
Yeah, you can't at this point. She's been around that much.
So you can't do anything.
I will check with my accountant when I get back, all right?
It's 8 in the morning.
If you got enough to have an accountant, do you have enough to send some money? Fire your accountant?
I'd like to see you again.
Bit more confidence again. He was feeling down a bit last night after Jelani came along.
Mr. Ellison?
All of the buzzwords as well.
She'll probably require around-the-clock care for her own safety.
Can he stay with her and just, you know, be at home but also write while he's at home? Of course, it depends on how much he can make from the writing. Or is he going to be forced to sell out and make a book like hers? Yeah, okay. Oh, doing it under a pseudonym though.
Midnight Black Complete. No, that's not right, huh? What did you want to say?
I like that.
You can say it better than that.
Doubting his writing talent though.
Look at my cold black skin, and then look at your own.
I mean, even if he's writing a story that is, he doesn't think it's like up to his caliber, he's obviously a very talented writer, so he can still bring something to it, bring some complexity to it later maybe. Or just in the way he writes, in his prose, he could.
We'll always be. Surviving. You ain't worth a piss.
Still elevate that type of story.
Now will come some sort of, dumb melodramatic sob story where you highlight your broken interiorities.
I really like the way they're doing this though. The filmmaking here, he's writing the story and we're seeing it develop in front of our eyes.
You're watching Black Stories Month on WHN.
Yeah, I mean, exactly that. Just like hyper exaggerated, yeah. All of these black stories and it just cuts straight to slavery and gangs.
I see what you're doing.
Good, because it's not subtle. I mean, how's that book so different than some of the other garbage they put out?
That's not the point.
Well, it's my point.
Yeah, the thing is this is going to get published and he's going to get loads of praise, isn't it?
Who do you expect to publish this?
No one. I just want to rub their noses in the horseshit.
Okay, so he's just making a point, but I feel like it could backfire.
Can I say it's performance art?
No, send it straight. If they can't take the joke, then fuck them.
They're not going to take it as a joke, though. They're going to take it seriously and think it's a proper, actual book.
Sign my book.
I'm wondering, I hope he can be around here long term. He's not going to be, going back to teach and she wants something more serious long term and he might just be bouncing from place to place,
Miss Lisa used to pay the bill.
Yeah, there we go. So much responsibility. Okay. I saw him sniffing before and did think, okay, yeah.
One nearby is $5,600 a month, and that's for a shared room.
That much for a shared room. That's ridiculous.
Listen, I'm not offended that you've taken a lover, Cliff. I'm offended, Cliff, that you call it taking a lover.
I know. Seems like Cliff might need to pitch in if this is a lifestyle, snorting coke and stuff.
We sold your book.
Holy shit. I thought it was DOA.
Not the Persians.
Yeah, the other book.
No, it's not, Arthur.
You wrote it.
As a joke.
Well, now it's the most lucrative joke you've ever told.
Just take the money. I don't know. Is it selling out if you do it under a fake name like that?
I know. I broke the first rule of sales. Never underestimate how stupid everyone is.
Well, I'm not participating in making them any stupider.
He'll refuse and then they'll come back with like $1.5 million, won't they? He does need the money though, doesn't he?
Red is shit, the black is less shit, the blue is good. The fewer people buy the blue because it's expensive.
So, sell the bad stories in order to fund the good ones.
You don't even have to put your real name on it.
Yeah, it's just morally, can he actually do it?
I am indeed. He's right here next to me.
Mr. Lee?
Yeah, this is he.
Oh, really?
Gotta put on a voice. Oh, no.
Yeah, god damn it.
Right, okay. Yeah, I was a little confused at first, but...
Will they need, like, if there are book signings and things, I was thinking, will they need someone to kind of play that role? I was thinking, could they get Cliff in on this?
Raw and real. And Mr. Lee, is this...
If they did...
Is this based on your actual life?
If they did get Cliff on to kind of play the character of Mr. Lee, imagine,
No, I don't.
I'm thinking, what if he gets seen with his boyfriend or something like that and it creates a whole media frenzy?
Now, is Stag a pseudonym?
Yes, it is. Mr. Lee can't use his real name because he's...
Wanted man?
He's a wanted fugitive.
Wow.
We believe Mr. Lee has written a bestseller. We think it is going to be the read of the summer.
I'm wondering, they could get around the whole book signing and making public appearances thing with him, the excuse that he is a fugitive. That could be his excuse why he never is actually seen in public.
Maynard! Hi, Lorraine. It's been a dog's age.
Well, I guess it has.
Is there something between them?
Well, I best be getting back. Good to see you, Thelonious.
You too.
Lorraine.
There she is. Behave yourself.
Oh, introduced to the family coming over for dinner.
Dahlias are my favorite. There's a whole world inside them.
No, that interaction has been good.
You're not white. Me too.
Could Coraline be good for Mother here, actually?
I think you remind her of my sister.
Makes sense, yeah.
You're both self-assured and funny. Fantastic kissers.
He does have a good sense of humor.
What's wrong? I just stepped outside for a moment.
What's wrong?
Have a cup of coffee with Amanda. I was right in front.
Where's Mother?
Has she gone missing? Oh, I don't want Lorraine to blame herself as well if something has happened.
Mother!
Of course, if she's... she's thought, oh, I'll just go for a walk, but forget where you are, so much can go wrong.
Lisa's out there roughhousing with a cousin. Somebody's gonna get hurt.
I will go tell her, okay?
Yeah,
I'll take you back to the house.
It's the whole thing of when people are having, like, not illusions, but when there's, having thoughts that aren't true, you have to actually affirm what they're saying, don't you? So instead of him denying that, he says, I'll go tell her. Yeah, that is a thing, isn't it?
So this will allow you the opportunity to literally judge these other writers for once rather than just figuratively.
All right, I'm in.
So he could be petty and
One of 5 judges.
be judgmental.
One we have confirmed so far is Sintara Golden. Are you familiar with Sintara Golden's work?
There we go. I thought Sintara Golden, I thought she'd be on the bookshelf in the home they were looking at.
I have a favor to ask. I was wondering if I might be able to take the afternoon off.
Go see Maynard.
You really like him, huh?
He's a fine man.
Seems they've liked each other for a while as well.
Wiley Valdespino. He specializes in Oscar Beatty issue movies. He did the Middle Passage.
It's getting a movie adaptation already. Has it even been published yet?
You stand to make a lot of money.
Why can't we just do a phone call?
Well, he said if he's going to cut a check this large, then he needs to meet in person.
He's got to start acting.
But what if he recognizes me?
You?
Yeah, the real me.
Monk, you're not that famous. And nobody in Hollywood...
I would get in there and have him, like, in a mask, you know, to say, oh, he's a fugitive. He doesn't want to reveal his true identity.
Well, if he wants a stereotype,
it's going to fully play into it. Maybe he could just not talk much, play things very cautious, as to pretend not to be trying to give too much away.
And all the slave ghosts come back and they murder everyone.
Dear God.
I know. It's great, right? It's called Plantation Annihilation. Pick in the opening scene. He's a friend.
Gotta go.
I think he'll actually like that he ran off like that, if it's something to do with Mum. Obviously, it might be something to do with Mum, but from Wiley's perspective. I think that'll actually work out in his favor.
Or had an aneurysm.
Awful.
I know. Imagine exploding your brain trying to think up a toilet paper commercial.
Don't talk about exploding brain around him, yeah, because of the dad.
People have worked hard on these books, and we have to respect that.
Hard work doesn't demand respect. People worked hard on the Third Reich.
Yeah, if you're going to judge a book, you have to read the whole thing.
You know what? Art is subjective, but I think this is an opportunity to highlight books that may otherwise be undervalued. Someone a real chance at a career in this industry.
He's not going to get his award to Mr. Lee, is he? No, I don't think that type of group would actually vote for that anyway.
Mrs. Ellison prefers white bread, and she doesn't like the crust.
Yeah.
This place costs. Y'all should get the sandwiches right.
Lorraine knows her like the back of her hand, of course. Do they particularly even need her in a home if they already had Lorraine? Give her more of a raise, a bit more responsibility? I mean, there might be...
I'm getting married.
Wow.
Shut up.
Already?
I didn't say nothing earlier. It's just so sad.
I was just thinking, or you might need to get someone in to help Lorraine. Like Lorraine, I don't know what her responsibilities were there really. Was it just cooking and cleaning? Might need someone more medical in there.
Do you think you'd be willing to walk me down the aisle, Mr. Monk?
Oh, wow. There's something really nice about Lorraine and Maynard's relationship, even though we don't get much of it. It's so wholesome. I think seeing them fall in love later in life like that as well, you know. So many people feel the need to rush into things, feel like they're delayed, feel like they're late in their life, you know.
Put him on the cover in one of those scarves, I guess you would call them, tied around his head.
A do-rag?
Well, okay, you know what? We are always happy to hear new ideas. What did you have in mind?
Fuck.
What?
Fuck. I want to call it fuck.
Are they gonna like it and go along with it?
What are you doing? Screw these idiots. Stop it. No.
Okay, he's just sabotaging. Okay.
Because that would be more palatable to our sellers.
I don't care about all that. And if you don't change the title, the deal is off.
It's gonna happen though. It's gonna work, isn't it? They're gonna like it because it's controversial and it's subversive. They're gonna like it, aren't they?
We're here.
Let's do it.
What?
Yeah, exactly.
Hey!
Is that Cliff?
Hey! Hey!
Is he been drinking as well? There were cans floating.
It's all just a part of your superiority complex anyway. I only been gay for like 5 minutes. I gotta make up for lost time.
Yeah, he is living life.
Huh. Hey, Monk. How the hell can you afford this place?
Yeah, questioning where the money's coming from, of course.
Surprise.
Oh.
We've had a difficult morning.
Yeah, she's much worse.
We had to sedate her after she tried to strike a nurse.
Has she done that before?
No.
Yeah, if you're forgetful and suddenly there's new people around you, it can be scary, can't it?
You're not a drug dealer or something, are you?
No, I'm a writer. And you're my girlfriend, not my bookkeeper.
Yeah, he suddenly come across, what is it, like nearly $5 million, you know? I don't know how much of that money he sees, you know, how that works. Does he just get it all in a lump sum? I assume not. He hasn't changed his lifestyle up too much, has he?
I always knew you weren't a queer.
She don't know what you're saying. We'll wait outside.
Yeah, no, he needs to take a moment there, of course. Even if she doesn't know what she's saying.
And today we're going to discuss a new novel that just debuted at #1 on the New York Times bestseller list.
Oh, they've blurred it out.
But it's the true story of what it's like to be a black man in America like me. And it ain't pretty.
I feel like he could still spin this and reveal that it was all, you know, him doing this, Monk doing this, and doing it as a statement. He still could reveal that.
Is everything all right?
Yeah.
He needs to tell someone.
It didn't offend you?
You just said you didn't read it. What's your problem?
No, you answer my question.
You answer mine.
Yeah, he's got to tell the truth here.
I think you should leave.
You know what I think?
You should leave.
What's he doing? I had too much to drink. I thought this would be a reveal, not this. This tension.
Nonsense.
And she just thinks he has like a superiority complex around the writing, yeah. I wonder if she would be able to piece it together the way she was looking at the book there. I'm not sure. Now him seeing their relationship so happy, is that going to make him reflect on the conversation with Coraline? Yeah, the award, of course.
Thompson Watt apparently raced to publish it.
And they all love it.
1,000 copies already, and they're reprinting more soon.
Now this, him voting on his own work, he could get in trouble for this perhaps.
Thrilled to read a BIPOC man harmed by our carceral state.
Wait, are you one of those defund the police nuts?
I do wonder, you know, Sunita, what she was thinking of that, because she wasn't into that conversation, just like Monk wasn't. But of course, the book she's written, I don't know, I want to get a bit more insight into her, really. See, that's the real them, isn't it? That's his real experience, his family. I mean, he could write this whole experience into a book. We know it's a captivating story, don't we? Because they made it into this movie.
Need to leave. Don't bother to clean up. Just go.
No, it's all right. Just please stay. It's a celebration.
Yeah, he is welcome here, you know.
Good to see you.
That is nice.
I don't want to impose.
You can't impose. Your family.
The rated made it that they're so wholesome. Yeah, that's nice. Oh, come on, Monk. Enjoy yourself. Seems dancing isn't really his thing. And what about Coraline? Is she not here? He might need to go make amends.
Shut her out?
Yeah.
Dad shut everyone out too. He lied all the time.
Don't be like Dad.
I've been thinking a lot lately about how Dad died not knowing I'm gay. He never knew the entirety of me.
Yeah, never knew the real him.
Well, what if he had known and rejected you?
At least he'd be rejecting the real.
Yeah, it's nice for him to know that he knew the real him. He'd rather be real.
People want to love you, Monk.
You just need to let them.
I personally don't know what they say.
Yeah.
But you should let them love all of you.
Not just part. He needs to reveal Yeah, about the book. Of course he does.
I think it's the strongest African American novel I've read in a long time. I mean, since yours.
Yeah, I was waiting for that.
Tara.
I found it to be pretty pandering, actually.
You did?
Yes, did you not?
Yeah, with how judgmental he was of her work. Yeah, I want Monk and Sintara to just have a little conversation about it, maybe.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you're fine.
I'm not interrupting.
I mean, he never actually fully read her book, did he? Maybe there was some value in it, and the excerpt they got her to read aloud wasn't representative of the whole thing. Title could be ironic, you know?
Had a job at a fancy publishing house in New York.
So what? I don't need to write about my life. I write about what interests people.
Yeah, it wasn't all personal experience.
I'm okay with giving the market what it wants.
That's how drug dealers excuse themselves.
And I think drugs should be legal.
You're not fed up with it. You're black.
Yeah, she's not ashamed of it like he is. They've both done the same thing in a way.
White people read your book and confine us to it. They think that we're all like that.
Then it sounds like your issue is with white people.
Everyone interrupt before I got more heated, yeah.
I think it's fuck for me.
They're actually going to put it in first.
Think it would be a mistake to award this book anything.
Well, it's 2 versus 3, so fuck's the winner.
At least he wasn't promoting it for himself. I mean, he still could get in trouble voting on his own book, though.
Did you know that Dad was cheating on you?
He was bad at keeping secrets.
Why didn't you leave him?
If he's so much like Dad, is he bad at keeping secrets as well?
I certainly don't feel like one half the time.
That's because you've always been so hard on yourself, Cliffy.
Oh, she thinks she's talking to Cliff. Calling Cliff a genius as well, though.
This year's literary award goes to... I knew it. By Stag R. Lee. Fuck.
Obviously, Stag's not here to accept the award. He could make a statement and go up and accept it himself.
See some business. Someone's coming. Oh, Thelonious Ellison.
What's he gonna do here? This could be bad. Oh, she did come.
I have a confession to make.
He could still spin it that.
Wait. Smash to black.
What's wrong with that?
Okay. Oh, it's gone very meta. Wow.
To make some grandiose speech spoon-feeding everyone the moral of the story. There is no moral. That's the idea. I like the ambiguity.
I was thinking he could spin it as Mr. Lee asked him to accept it on his behalf.
What other endings you got in that big brain ears?
How about if...
This year's literary award goes...
So it has obviously been revealed that it was fake, that Stag was a pseudonym. Yeah, he was thinking more of Coraline. That's when we saw her walk in. That was just, okay, in his head.
What about that?
Will she forgive him?
I don't know. The real Coraline won't return my phone calls.
Oh, wow, really? Yeah, they've delved into the fiction bit here again, haven't they?
I mean, we could just...
What really happened?
What's going on?
Excuse me.
It is giving us the closure of these multiple threads, though.
I have a confession to make.
Oh, wow. Making it into an action shootout, of course.
All a marketing gimmick. It was all lies. He's got a gun.
Make it the action movie people want. A big climactic ending. Wow.
Good luck finding someone handsome enough to play me.
I think they have.
What do you got?
Tyler Perry.
No. I thought he might have said Sterling K. Brown or something.
Alright.
See, is that him coming to peace a bit with the kind of black trauma bit about, seeing a guy there and just give him a nod of respect. The guy there, obviously, he's just making a living, isn't he? Okay, so that was American Fiction. You know, obviously here, I'm white. It's trying not to be blue-haired girl at the start who like oversteps herself and ends up talking over black people, but then also trying not to be some of the other white people in the film who are kind of not thoughtful in their consumption in a way. You know, I feel like it's a bit of a balancing act talking about this film, talking about media in this way, and some of the subjects that this film brings up about black trauma and kind of the trauma porn genre. But I do have to say I did really enjoy this film. I think what I enjoyed most about it were the more mundane moments, the kind of moments with the family, Lorraine's wedding. Maynard and Lorraine, their whole relationship was so adorable and wholesome and just kind of affirming. The way they were so accepting of Cliff, that was a beautiful moment. And just kind of the melodrama kind of the family life, of the personal life. I thought that stuff was really effective there. And of course, that itself is in a way like a meta commentary. That is maybe the stories that Monk did want to tell, these true stories, these real stories of his real experience. And I definitely understand his like criticisms, but then I think by the end as well, he also maybe comes to terms with it a bit, is a bit less kind of grumpy and mean at everything when he made eye contact with that guy who's obviously like dressed as like a slave or something there at the end, but still gives the nod, you know, that's still a real person behind there who is trying to make a living, just doing his job. And I think there is space for both stories. There just needs to be a balance. I think that's really what the film was saying there at the end, that, you know, it is important to still tell these stories, otherwise they will be forgotten. You know, there is worth in films that are about slavery or other things, because they can be teaching moments. I mean, like, personally, white people love Hidden Figures. My parents watch Hidden Figures religiously, and that may be a story that people wouldn't know if the film didn't exist. I know it's based on a book, but the film has much more reach, doesn't it? But also, it's important to say, like, consuming media isn't activism. It's just consuming media. It can help you learn more things. It can help educate you in a way. It could be a good stepping stone as well. And it is important as well to listen to black voices. That sounded like exactly what one of the judges there would say. That could have been a line straight out of the film, wow. But it is true. It's just, you need to know kind of the limit. Don't overstep yourself, don't speak over people. Of course, it's difficult for me here because I'm just talking to an audience, talking to a camera. In a way, all I am doing is just talking. But, you know, I'm trying to discuss the film and the themes to the best of my ability here. Yeah, I think there is a balance to be struck on telling these important stories, you know. 12 Years a Slave is one of my favourite films. It's such an emotional powerhouse and it's important, definitely. But I can also see why people wouldn't want to watch it. They wouldn't want to go through that trauma of seeing that, and why they would be critical if that was the only stories being told. I can understand people's criticism of it from like a meta kind of standpoint. As with most things, balance is important. I think this film as well is just unbelievably smart. There's some moments in here I really love. I love when he's first coming up with like the first draft of the book, and it's, you know, having the characters he's writing talking back to him, and we're seeing them kind of manifest in front of him. That was like fourth wall breaking in a way. And then they kind of do that at the end. I would have liked maybe if they had lent more into that, but I'm not sure. I did like that moment though. And of course, a lot of the film, you know, it felt like a lot of it did feel really real. I think a lot of the stuff with the family felt real, But then when you step outside of the family, it felt like a kind of hyper exaggeration of the real world, with kind of how some of the white people act around them. You know, we had that moment where he's watching the TV and it came up and it was like Black History Month, and then it cuts straight to a slave film and then like a gangster film. It's like some of that is kind of like almost a hyper exaggerated version of reality to get the point across, and it does make sense why they do that. It's kind of doing it in a kind of satirical way, but then once we kind of get out of that world and get into the family world, that becomes more grounded, it feels like. And again, I think that is purposeful as a kind of criticism of that, and the family aspect kind of being a story that Cord did want to tell. Cord Jefferson, the writer and director of this. I do think Jeffrey Wright was amazing in this. I mean, he's been great in everything I've seen of him, but you know, here he is leading man, and we're getting loads of insight into his character, into Monk, which I really loved. His kind of development from kind of grumpy old and learning to let go a bit, and the people around him showing him so much love. I love the moment with Cliff. Cliff saying, you know, allow people to love you. You need to kind of let people in so they can love the whole you as well. I mean, that's a cool, important part about kind of loving the whole person, him not hiding anything in the same way Cliff was hiding his homosexuality from his dad. I did really like all the stuff with Cliff as well, how he dealt with things, the kind of tension, obviously, with Mum. And then the resolution to that was just really emotional. I love the moment with Lorraine and Maynard, how they're so accepting of him. It's just so like affirming there. That was a great moment, as I've said before. And, you know, with Cliff, I do think, you know, some of his actions, he's out there partying and kind of maybe escaping responsibility a bit as well. And I don't really hold that against him. Like, he could have maybe, you know, stopped snorting as much stuff and used that money to help Mum. Obviously, he didn't really know the financial situation. He didn't know the whole thing with the book deal. But also it is like understandable when he gave that context of he's only been gay for 5 minutes, you know, he wants to go out and live his life. He's been living this kind of false life, hiding his true self away, and now he can finally go out and express that, and he is partying, he is doing drugs. It's just that has kind of aligned with a bad time in everything else going on in his life. But of course, we do see Monk has stepped up. Obviously, he's got the money, so that isn't really a problem anymore. Not that Cliff really knew about that, but Monk did kind of sort things out anyway, so things were kind of okay. And yeah, I thought the kind of meta-ness of the film was really good. The film is really smart, but I don't know how I feel about the end. At the end, I started to think, is it maybe too smart for its own good in a way where, you know, they went really meta and went kind of out of the story to Monk telling Wiley about the story, and Wiley's like making a film off of the events in the film. It was like a cool framing narrative to show the different possibilities of how things could have gone. But I did find it kind of immersion breaking, even though it was still like within the film's universe. I still did feel like a little bit of immersion breaking, because you are suddenly reminded that this film is in fact a film. It did kind of pull me out of it a bit there right at the end. And, you know, there was some good commentary. I liked, you know, there may be a bit critical about how the film could have been a romance film, or it could have ended in a bloodbath, and like that's what audiences want. All they want is a bloodbath at the end. And there was like this ambiguity which Monk did like, but also I feel like I could have gone without that. I think the themes of the film are still present throughout, and if if they had just played it straight at the end, maybe I would have enjoyed that more. I do understand what they were maybe going for there at the end. And I did like the final ending, him giving the nod to the guy outside the film studio and him kind of making amends with Cliff in a way. But I don't know. I feel like I would have liked maybe if they just played that straight and he got up on the stage and maybe they did play it ambiguous. We saw Coraline go in and we didn't really know what happened. But to then break the fourth wall in a way to tell us they want it to be ambiguous, I didn't like as much. If you're going to make it ambiguous, just make it ambiguous. Don't say to our face, oh, we're making it ambiguous on purpose. If it was just ambiguous and we didn't know if Coraline was there or not, or we saw a little flash of her, or they found a way to keep it ambiguous, and then in our minds we could say, oh, you know, there's the possibility that he did reveal everything and there was a big outburst because of it, a big backlash, or he did reveal everything and people loved the kind of commentary he was trying to make by doing that and writing the book, or he got up there and said he was accepting the award on behalf of Mr. Lee because he had kind of asked him to, and, you know, last second he kind of changed his mind. Or he did what we saw where he kind of had the romantic moment of going to Coraline and making up with her. I do wonder, you know, the whole Coraline bit, obviously we actually don't get any closure for that. I do wonder how that would go. I feel like she would forgive him. I'm mainly thinking of, there's this point where Lisa, right early on, the sister, she says, because she's a lawyer, she doesn't judge people by their lowest moment. And then I was thinking, I quite liked that quote. And so I wrote that down and thought about that more. And I think maybe Coraline would forgive him because she probably would have that same mentality, that same ideology. And he also did say that she reminded him so much of his sister. So I feel like there is a connection there. I think she would forgive him and it probably would work out, hopefully. Maybe I'm just being a bit optimistic there. But also I think he definitely does need to tell her, because without him showing his full self, she can't love the whole him, just as Cliff was saying earlier as well at the wedding. I was just editing and wanted to add another thing, maybe a bit of a clarification as well. Like earlier on in the film, I'm kind of laughing along with and agreeing with Monk when there is this kind of hyper exaggerated AAVE with kind of Sintara's book and everything and her doing the reading. I'm laughing because it's like this hyper exaggeration of reality. That's what the movie presents. But, you know, realistically, the idea that there is a wrong or right way to speak, or like a proper way to speak, is just rooted in classism and racism. In Glass Onion, there's this bit where they say Edward Norton's character is stupid because he kind of makes up fancy sounding words, and I actually kind of disagree with that. On this channel, if you've watched for a while, I constantly get my kind of idioms and my metaphors wrong, but as an audience, you know the intention. So there isn't a right or wrong way to speak. You are using language correctly if the other person is understanding your intention. Yuval on TikTok, many of you might know him. He has this great video about ax, how certain people say the word ask as ax, and how that is still kind of a valid form of expression. You understand the intention when people say the word that way. The idea of kind of proper ways of speaking and pronouncing, especially here in the UK, you know, it's based on class divide, how the upper class would create a new way of speaking, receive pronunciation as a way to divide themselves from the poor. I'm just in a way covering my back from the start of the film, reacting at the start of the film when I'm kind of agreeing with Monk there. But it is also this hyper exaggeration of reality, which I think perhaps maybe later on in the film when Monk and Sintara are having their conversation, I feel like maybe a bit of a criticism here, because the film has this hyper exaggeration, it makes that point at the end a bit less kind of potent, because what we are seeing before did feel like a hyper exaggeration of reality. So I don't know if that dilutes her argument in a way. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Again, that's just my opinion, something I was thinking there. Take my opinion with a grain of salt. So yeah, I did really like the meta stuff, but the kind of family story, the kind of melodrama of the family story was what really engaged me most here, I think. Even though kind of the book writing and some of the commentary around that is probably where I laughed the most, and that was kind of more fun. There's a lot of moments there where you're just kind of cringing at the way people are acting, like when he wants to change the book title. I saw it coming from a mile away. Of course they're gonna love it. And when he like run away from that first meeting with Wiley, of course, you know, is kind of feeding into that stereotypes, the way the stereotypes are used. I thought all of that stuff was really clever as well. But the kind of family, that's where the real heart of the film is, I think. And that's what really engaged me and what I really enjoyed here. Okay, so I think that's everything. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Of course, leave your comments down below, what you thought of the film, what you thought of my kind of analysis of the film here at the end, my comments on the film. And if you really loved this video, be sure to subscribe so you can keep up to date on all future uploads. So yeah, thanks for watching. See you guys later.